Got to bring in Fox NBA analyst Antoine Walker. But Slick, you believe LeBron is having the time of his life right now?
Well, did I hear him right that he's drinking wine or tequila every night? I would say if that's the case, yeah, he might be having the time of his life off the court. But on the court, you can't possibly tell me that this season, regardless of what he might be doing scoring-wise at age 37, that he's having the time of his life playing the game right now. I often feel like I should write a LeBron handbook. This is what he's saying, and this is what he means. Because they don't always fit together. There's a lot of times he says things that I feel like he's saying it because he feels as if he's supposed to say that. That's what you're like, I don't care about the statistics. I'm just all about playing the game the right way. Come on, man. You're going for the all-time scoring record. No one's going to fault you for going for it. Just be honest. This team is not very good. It's not going anywhere. Go ahead and get your scoring game on. I got no problem with it. But you don't have to pretend like, no, I'm just all about playing the right way. Just stop it. But I'm gonna turn it actually to Twan because you can answer this better than anybody. I'm thinking the 2000-2001 season, you had I believe, your highest scoring average, personal scoring average that season, and you guys won 36 games. And the next year, you dropped off a little bit scoring-wise, but if I'm not mistaken, you flipped that record, 49-33. Now, I'll ask you, Twan, which season were you having a better time? When you were scoring but losing, or where you were scoring a little less and winning?
Well, I'm going to answer that honestly. When we were scoring a little less and we were winning, was great because we were trying to change a storied franchise around and get back to respectability, and I wanted to be a big part of that. So it was definitely when we were winning and we made the Eastern Conference run, and we got to the Eastern Conference final and lost the 6 games to New Jersey. But I think what we have to look at, fellas, and to keep it honest, is that the narrative has changed for LeBron James. If you look at the history, the narrative has just changed. It was a time in his career that he chased championships. He wanted to win just as many titles as Michael and Kobe, and that time has passed. I think it's just passed, though, maybe a couple months ago. I think the second injury to AD, and he probably realized, you know what, I'm not going to get it done here anymore. I don't think we're a championship contender. So now it's other things you can focus in on. And all of a sudden now, he starts to play great basketball. This guy's had 30-point performances in 32 games. He's leading the league in scoring. He's looking at all the individual accomplishments that he's coming across right now. And then passing Karl Malone and being 1,400 points away from being the #1 scorer in NBA history, you change your thought. And Marcellus, you can understand this as a player. When you're playing good and feeling good about yourself, it is the best time of your life. But that's because LeBron right now, the narrative has changed in how he thinks, and it's not about winning titles. You will never see Michael make a comment like that. You will never see Kobe make a comment like that. You'll never see Magic Johnson. They'll never make those type of compliments. But the narrative for LeBron has just changed. We have to accept it. It's not what we want to do. We want to put him in that conversation and continue to go talk about who can win the most titles. We started this season off talking about the Lakers being a championship contender. This team was supposed, even though they was old, we thought that they would still be in the mix with a Westbrook and Carmelo Anthony and those guys. We still thought they had a chance. But that narrative has changed, and I think LeBron's narrative has changed, and I think he's just enjoying the game, and we got to respect the fact that he's 19 years in the league. He's playing unbelievable basketball. We probably won't talk a lot about it after April, after they get out the playoffs, but this is one of those years for him individually he's going to feel great about because he was able to accomplish so many different things and break so many records. So the narrative has just changed.
I think LeBron's telling the honest to God's truth. I understand where you're coming from, Slick, in that handbook. Sometimes it is like, what is LeBron really saying? Not this one. I could personalize it, but I'll get to that later. Let's talk about right now how LeBron James is looking at this situation. We all heard the cliche. We all know it. Losing sucks, right? Okay, losing does suck. Everybody knows that. Who wants to put all that work in and then come out as the loser? All right, so losing sucks, but not playing well and losing, that's what hurts. And there's a big difference. Let's talk about it because Look, in LA, everywhere you live, traffic sucks. But you know what? Getting into an accident actually hurts. So we understand the big difference, right? It can be looking the same from a certain vantage point, but when you personalize it, the pain is different. LeBron is like, look, I'm doing the most I can. Matter of fact, I'm doing the most I've done since 2007 in terms of point production. I left it all on the court. What y'all want me to do? Feel miserable when I get home? LeBron James also is shooting the best from the field in 5 years. Free throws. You know, we used to call him LeBrick at the free throw line. Sorry, Russell Westbrook. I hope that doesn't offend you. And he's doing the best since he was a Heatle. Like, dog, y'all need to stop playing with this man. And you know he's friends with Drake. And you know Drake had that great line, working with the negatives can make a better picture. LeBron James is a father and a husband. Now I'm going to personalize it. Damn it. When I come up here and I mess up a take, I mess up a fact, I mess up everything. Stuttering and spitting and stumbling. 2 o'clock comes, I'm gonna let y'all know. I get that Tesla, peace. All that was behind me. I got 4 kids at the crib and a wife looking at me like, don't give a damn how great work was or how bad work was, as long as you worked and put in work. So I think LeBron is really trying to take us to his human element, which is basically, y'all act like I'm tapping out. I'm balling out of control, but we are undermanned, and I have other responsibilities that are even greater than the game of basketball.
I'm buying all that, and I'm buying all that with you, Marcellus, because I believe that what you say is what you mean and what you feel.
Uh-oh.
Here's my problem with LeBron, even when it comes to the I just go home and chill. I don't care what the narrative is about our team. We know, LeBron James knows what's going out on those social media streets. He always knows because he responds. So this idea like, dude, I'm just going to the gym and I'm hooping and I'm getting shots up. And to your point, Antoine, I think you are right. I think he can genuinely appreciate, you know what? I got a mid-range now. I got a 3-point shot. I'm 37 years old and I'm one of the top scorers in the league. Like, I do believe he takes great satisfaction out of that. But what you said is also true. Like the dudes that were the true great white sharks that I've seen in the league, that wouldn't be enough for them. If they weren't playing for a title, whether that's in the NBA or outside of it, if they're not playing for a title, they are miserable. And LeBron at this point has come to terms with the fact that he's no longer a championship caliber player in terms of leading a team the way that he once could. Once it was automatic. You were on LeBron James's team, you could probably punch your ticket to the finals. You might not win it, but you had a pretty good chance, especially if you're in the East, of getting there. Now that has completely changed and he's finding his satisfaction someplace else. But the idea that he doesn't know what's being said about the Lakers and about him as a result of this season, I'm sorry, man. There ain't enough tequila that he can be drinking not to know that.
Well, I'm going to add to it, Rick, and you make a great point, but let's just take it a step further. This is going to make comments like that. You forcing Jenny Buss and Rob Pelinka to really think about what are we going to do. Do we want LeBron James to break all these records in the Laker uniform, which would be great. We saw Karl Malone become the second leading scorer. Obviously, Kareem is number 1. So the Lakers got to think about that because those individual awards and that scoring title will be gotten next year. So do you want to have them done in the Laker uniform? Because at the end of the day, and then what are the expectations of the Lakers and the Lakers organization and their fan base? Do they want to be contenders? Do they want to be a playoff team? So all those things come into play when you start to make those type of comments, even though, we know LeBron's a winner. The guy's been to the finals 10 times. We know he's going to put the work in to be the best player and to be the best teammate possible. But those are the type of things you put into question when you start making these type of comments, and it becomes not about the team, and then you start thinking about the individual stuff. So just got to be a little cautious in how you say certain things because it can be taken the wrong way.
Well, I think it's going to be taken the right way if you know the Lakers organization, as I know you do, Twan. Hit the Twan. Because don't y'all forget about that Kobe deal. when Kobe was coming down the hill in terms of performance, they gave him 2 years, $50 million because he was box office, because he had entertainment value, because he put meat in the seats. The Lakers are different. That's why they're the Lakers. The late, great Dr. Buss started that. He said, we're going to have an entertainment product. Oh, yeah, we're going to play basketball very well, too. But we about to start cheerleaders, forum club. Oh, it's about to be cracking off the court as well as on the court. So the Lakers have always looked at their team and the organization through those two lenses. I think this plays well for the Lakers organization. LeBron going to get all these records. We ain't even draft him. He's not even homegrown. He's just going to come here and get all these accolades on our watch. In our jersey, we'll take it. Now, another thing I got to push back on, y'all. Stop comparing this man to Magic and MJ and Kobe in terms of all him answering every question. With our pervasive media we have today, y'all know LeBron loves Instagram. Like, that's his one, right? IG was started in 2010, y'all. When Kobe, right after Kobe won his last championship, IG started. So Kobe can't pop off because the best of Kobe in terms of championships and that whole Black Mamba mentality was kind of behind him in team success. So LeBron is the one that inherited this problem, not MJ. They only had 3 channels, and Ahmad Rashad, not Magic Johnson, same thing. like it wasn't the same thing. It wasn't shows like this out there talking that talk. So I'm with you, LeBron, and I'm gonna personalize it like this, and this is all I got. I played 3 years in San Diego. It was a homecoming, kind of like, you know, the best place for me to play. Like LeBron says, it's more than basketball. It's the best place to play. Our records, we were 5-11, we were 8-8, we were 4-12. And I had the time of my life. Why? Because I got paid and I was balling. Now, there is one higher level. We could have won and I was balling, but that wasn't my reality. I'm with you, LeBron. Pass that damn tequila. Let's talk.